Hello viewers, welcome to online course on Mathematics 3. This course basically for undergraduate student or BTech student of engineering field. Today we are going to discuss about the normal and standard normal distribution, and this is the special type of distributions of probability theory. Myself Sanjay Vishwas, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, Department of Applied Science and Humanities of Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Here is my details of contact information. If you have facing any kind of problem regarding my online class, you can call me or send message through my mail ID sanjay.vishwas@gnit.ac.in. So before we start today's lecture, let's quickly recall in the last lecture. So in the last lecture, we have discussed about the Poisson distributions, and this is also the special type of distributions. And you know this distribution is a discrete distribution as well. Okay. So in the last lecture, we have discussed about the definition of the Poisson distributions and cases where the Poisson distributions are fit, and after that we have discussed about the some theorem on Poisson distributions and binomial approximation to Poisson distribution we have discussed in the last lecture, and some related examples we have talked about in last lecture. So today we are going to discuss about the special type of distributions, that means normal distributions and standard normal distributions. Okay, and this is my 7th lecture on probability theory, or the third one for special type of distributions. So in this chapter we have already discussed the binomial distribution as well the Poisson distribution, and you know these two distributions are the discrete distributions. So today we are going to discuss about the continuous distributions. So you know the continuous distributions are normal and standard normal distributions. Here is the content of today's lecture. So first of all, we will continue to discuss about the definition of a normal distributions, and after that we will talk about the cases where the normal distributions fit. Okay, so after that we will talk about the theorem on normal distributions. So in that case, we will discuss about the mean and the standard deviations of a normal distribution. Okay. So after that, we will continue to discuss about the standard normal distributions. So standard normal distributions is also the continuous distributions. Okay. And the standard normal distribution will be found from the normal distributions, and I will discuss in that lecture as well. And after that we will talk about the binomial approximation to the normal distributions, and after that we will discuss some workout examples on normal and standard normal distribution. So let us begin with the definition of a normal distributions. Okay. So a continuous, so you know the normal distribution is a continuous distribution. So a continuous random variable x. So in that case, where capital X is a random variable, this is the continuous. Okay, and you know capital X is a continuous random variable, is said to have a normal distribution if its probability density function. So you know in a continuous distribution where the probability density function are exist, and in a discrete distribution where probability mass function is exist. Okay, so in that case the probability density function, and it is given by fx is equal to 1 by root 2 pi sigma e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square, and x is lies in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. So in a normal distribution there are two parameters. So the parameters are mu and sigma is greater than 0. Okay, so that is mu and sigma are the two parameters of this distribution. So from normal distribution we will find the sum properties of normal distributions. So in this case, we say x is a normal variate with parameter mu and sigma, and we denote it by x equivalent to n of mu comma sigma, where mu and sigma are the parameters of a normal distribution. So clearly, f of x is greater or equals to 0 for all x, and you know mu is greater than 0. So from this we will get the function fx is greater or equals to 0. Okay, and integration over minus infinity to plus infinity fx dx, and it will give after putting the value of fx. So you know fx is the probability density function, and it is equals to this 1 by root over 2 pi into sigma e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square. Okay, so after putting the value of fx, that means probability density function of a random variable capital X, and from this we'll get integration over minus infinity to plus infinity 1 by root over of 2 pi sigma into e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square into dx. Okay, so now we put z is equal to x minus mu by root 2 into sigma. Then from this integration we'll get 1 by root pi integration over minus infinity to plus infinity. So the limiting value, that means the lower limit and upper limit are same for z as well. So if we put z is equal to x minus mu by root 2 pi into sigma, then you know when x is equal to minus infinity, so x tends to minus infinity, we will get z tends to minus infinity, and when we put x tends to plus infinity, then from this we will get z tends to infinity. Okay, and after putting the value of x minus mu by root 2 pi root 2 into sigma, so from this we will get e to the power minus z square into dz. Okay, so therefore this integral value will reduce to 1 by root pi integration over minus infinity to plus infinity e to the power minus z square into dz. And you know the integral value, that means minus infinity to plus infinity e to the power minus z square dz, and it is equals to 2 by root pi, it is 0 to infinity e to the power minus z square into dz. So you know e to the power minus z square is an even function. Okay, so from the definition of an even function, then you know integration minus infinity to plus infinity fx dx is equal to 0 to infinity fx dx. Okay, 2 into. So after that we will get from this equation 2 by root over of pi. Okay, so this is the even function, you know. So and it is equals to integration over 0 to infinity e to the power minus z square into dz. Now putting z square is equal to u. So this integral value, that means this integration will reduce to 1 by root over of pi 0 to infinity e to the power minus u into u to the power minus half into du. After putting the value of z is equal to root over of u, and we will get this one. Okay, and you know this is the gamma function, and the definition of the gamma function, gamma of n is equal to this is the mathematical expression of the gamma function. Gamma of n is equal to integration of 0 to infinity e to the power minus x into x to the power n minus 1. So in that case where n is equal to half, so this is the gamma half function. Okay, so integration of 0 to infinity e to the power minus u into u to the power minus half du, and it is equals to gamma of half. And the value of gamma half is equal to root over of pi, you know that. So therefore 1 by root pi into gamma of half, it will give 1 by root pi into root pi. Okay, so after cancelling the term root pi, and from this we will get 1. So the integration over minus infinity to plus infinity fx dx, and it will give 1. So that is this is the necessary condition for the probability density function. Necessary condition of the probability density function are fx is greater or equals to 0 and integration over minus infinity to plus infinity fx dx is equal to 1. Okay, so these two are the standard properties, or these two are the necessary condition of the probability density functions. And after that, the significance of the parameter mu and sigma are given in the theorem. Okay, and the distribution function f of x is given by, so this is the distribution function of the density function of a normal distributions. So fx is equal to 1 by root 2 pi sigma integration of our minus infinity to x. Okay, in a distribution function, you know the upper limit is always variable. E to the power minus u minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square into du. And this is called the distribution function f of x for the normal distribution with probability density function fx is equal to 1 by root 2 pi sigma e to the power minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square. So let us move on the next slide. So in this slide we will continue to discuss about the normal curve. So what is the normal curve? The graph of the probability density function of a normal variate is called the normal curve. So the curve is shown in the following figure for the different value of sigma. So you know there are three curves. So this curve is actually when the sigma is equal to 0.5, and in that this curve is when the sigma is equal to 1, and the third one, this one, is when sigma is equal to 2. So the normal curve is bell shaped and symmetric about the ordinate x is equal to mu. So about the ordinate x is equal to mu, so the three curves, that means when sigma is equal to 0.5, sigma is equal to 1, and sigma is equal to 2. So three different curves, and three different curves are symmetric about the ordinate x is equal to mu. So for small value of sigma, the curve has a small peak, and as when sigma increase, then the normal curve tends to be flatter. So you know sigma is equal to 2, so in that case the curve is more flatter than sigma is equal to 1 or sigma is equal to 0.5. And when the value of sigma is smaller, then the curve has a small peak. Okay, this one is the peak. And when the value of sigma are increased, then the normal curve tends to be flatter. Okay, this is the normal curve for the different value of sigma. So after that we will discuss about some theorem on the normal distributions. So if capital X has normal distribution with parameter mu and sigma, okay, so you know mu and sigma are the parameters of a normal distributions. So then the mean of x is mu and the standard deviation of x is sigma. Okay, this is the theorem. So here is the proof of the following theorem. So here probability density function of x is given by fx is equal to 1 by root pi 2 pi sigma e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square. Okay, and x is lies in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. So the mean of a continuous case, you know this is the definition. If expectation of x is equal to integration over minus infinity to plus infinity x into fx dx. So in that case, where fx is equal to 1 by root 2 pi sigma e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square. So therefore expectation of x, and it will give 1 by root 2 pi sigma integration over minus infinity to plus infinity x into e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square into dx. Okay, so from this we'll get two different integral, and you know x can be written as x minus mu plus mu. So therefore this integral value will give x minus mu of e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square. Okay, this is the first integral, and the second integral it will give e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square into dx. Okay, so therefore the expectation of x, that means this one, and can be written as two different integration. So first integration it will be x minus mu of this, and second integration is mu into this. So that means here x can be written as x minus mu plus mu. Okay, so therefore the first integral, and it is equals to 1 by root over of 2 pi into sigma integration over minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mu into e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square, okay, into dx. This is the first integration. And the second integral value, it will be mu by root 2 pi sigma integration over minus infinity to plus infinity e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square into dx. So now by putting z is equal to x minus mu by root 2 into sigma, then from the first integration as well as from the second integration we will get 1 by root pi integration over minus infinity to plus infinity u into e to the power minus u square into du. Okay, as well the second term, it will be mu by root pi integration over minus infinity to plus infinity e to the power minus u square into du. Okay, so the first integration, that means this one, where e to the power minus u square is an even function, but u is a odd function. Okay, so there is a properties of even and odd function. You know, the product of a odd function and even function is a odd function. So therefore integration over minus infinity to plus infinity odd function is equals to 0. That means the value of this odd function will give 0. But the second integration, where e to the power minus u square is an even function, and the second integration, it will give 2 by root pi into integration over 0 to infinity e to the power minus u square into du, where the first integral is a odd function and the second integral is even. Okay, so therefore the first integral value is 0 and the second integral value is this. And now we put u square is equal to z. Okay, then from the second integration, that means this one, we will get e to the power minus z into z to the power minus half into dz, and the integration will remain same in that case. If we put z is equal to 0, then u is equal to 0, as well as when if we put u is equal to infinity, then from this integration we will get z is equal to infinity. Okay, so therefore the integration will reduce to mu by root pi integration over 0 to infinity e to the power minus z into z to the power minus half into dz. And you know, this is the gamma function, and it is actually the gamma of half, and gamma of half is equal to root over of pi. Okay, so after cancelling the term root pi, we will get mu. That means the mean of a normal distribution, and it will give mu. And after that we are going to find the variance of a normal distribution. So you know, in a continuous case where the variance of x is equal to expectation of x minus mu whole square, and you know mu is the mean of a distribution. Okay, so and it can be written as 1 by root over of 2 pi sigma into integration over minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mu whole square into e to the power minus x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square into dx. Okay, so this is the variance of a normal distributions. Okay, and now we put z is equal to x minus mu by root 2 into sigma. Then from this integration we will get 2 sigma square by root pi. Okay, after putting the value of x minus mu by root pi into sigma, integration over minus infinity to plus infinity. So in that case, where the lower limit and upper limit are remain same, and it will give minus infinity to plus infinity z square into e to the power minus z square and into dz. And you know, e to the power minus z square is an even function, z square is also the even function. Then from the properties of the even function, the product of two even function is an even function. Okay, and you know, integration over minus infinity to plus infinity even function is equals to 0 to infinity of even function. Okay, 2 into. So from this integration we will get 4 sigma square by root pi integration over 0 to infinity. Okay, in that case we have applied the even function, the properties of even function. So after that we will get from this integration 2 into sigma square by root pi integration over 0 to infinity. After putting the value of z square is equal to u, we will get e to the power minus u into u to the power half du. And you know, this is the gamma function, and it is actually the gamma of 3 by 2. Okay, so from this integration we will get 2 sigma square by root pi gamma of 3 by 2. and there is a properties of gamma function, gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n gamma n. Okay, so from this we'll get half into gamma half. Gamma of 3 by 2 is equal to gamma of 1 plus gamma of 1 by 2 plus 1. So that means 1 by 2 into gamma half, and the value of gamma half is equal to root over of pi. So from this we'll get the variance of x of a normal distribution, so it will give sigma square. Okay, and you know the standard deviation of a normal distribution, x is actually root over of variance, positive root of variance, that means sigma. Okay, so this is the standard deviation of a normal distributions. So after that we are going to talk about the cases where the normal distributions are fit. So let a thermal plant supplies electric power in a certain city. Okay, so let x is the amount of electric power in watt supplied by plant in a day, and clearly x varies from day to day, and it is clear, and it can be assumed that x is a continuous variate, and it can be shown that x has normal distribution with parameter mu is equal to average power supply per day, and sigma is the standard deviation of all the values assumed by x. So in that case, where the normal distribution are fit, and mu is equal to the mean of a distribution, so sigma is the standard deviation of this distribution. So after that we are going to talk about the standard normal distributions. Okay, and standard normal distribution is reduced form of the normal distributions. So the normal distribution with the mean 0, and the standard deviation 1 is called the standard normal distribution. So that means in that case where mu is equal to 0 and the standard deviation, that means sigma is equal to 1. In a normal distribution, we will get a standard normal distribution. So the random variable having standard normal distribution is called standard normal variate, or it can be written as x equivalent to n of 0, 1. So in that case the mean, that means mu is equal to 0 and the standard deviation sigma is equal to 1. So thus the probability density function, and in that case the normal distribution is also the continuous distribution. So probability density function of a standard normal distribution is given by phi of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi e to the power minus x square by 2, where mu is equal to 0 and sigma is equal to 1. Then from the normal distribution we will get this one by root 2 pi e to the power minus x square by 2, and x is lies in the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, and this is the expression of the standard normal distribution. That means the probability density function of standard normal distribution, and the corresponding distribution is given by, so in a distribution function where the upper limit is variable, that means 1 by root 2 pi integration of our minus infinity to x e to the power minus u square by 2 into du, and this is called the distribution function phi x corresponding to the small phi x. This is the small phi x, that means probability density function of a standard normal distribution. Okay, and is equals to 1 by root 2 pi integration of our minus infinity to x e to the power minus u square by 2 into du. Let us move on the next slide. So in this slide we will talk about the standard normal curve. So the graph of the probability density function of a standard normal distribution is called the standard normal curve. Okay, so this is the shown in the following figure. So this is called the standard normal curve, and this standard normal curve is symmetric about the y-axis and bell shaped, and it has maximum value at x is equal to 0. Okay, and the total value of this distribution function is 1, and it is symmetric. So the left portion the total value is 0.5, as well as in the right portion the total value is That means the area bounded by 0 to infinity is 0.5, as well as minus infinity to 0 it will be 0.5. Okay, and it is symmetric also. So therefore integration over minus infinity to x, phi x dx is equal to 1. So the area under this curve is 1. Okay, and x axis is its asymptotes. And the standard normal distribution curve, this is the standard normal distribution curve, and it is cut at y axis at the point 0, 1. So graph of the distribution function phi of x is shown in the following figure. This one is actually, okay, it's called a standard normal distribution curve, and it is cut at the y axis at the point 0, 1. Okay, so after that we will talk about the theorem on the standard normal distribution. So if the continuous random variable capital X has normal distribution with parameter mu and sigma, okay, so then Z is equal to x minus mu by sigma has standard normal distribution. So in that case, Z is the random variable on standard normal distribution, and x is the random variable has normal distributions. Okay. So let Z has normal distribution, then the mean of Z is equal to Z bar, that means expectation of Z, and this is equals to expectation of x minus mu by sigma. And in that case, where Z is the standard normal distribution, and x has a normal distribution and Z has a standard normal distribution. So expectation of a standard normal distribution, it will give expectation of x minus mu by sigma if we put Z is equal to this. Okay, and sigma is the parameter, so we then from this we will get 1 by sigma into expectation of x minus mu, and there is a properties of the expectation function. We will get expectation of x minus mu is equal to expectation of x minus expectation of mu, and expectation of a constant function is constant. So the second term of this function, and it will give mu, and the first one expectation of x is equal to also mu. So in a normal distribution, the expectation of x is equal to mu. So therefore the expectation of a standard normal distribution, it will give 0. And after that we are going to find the variance of a standard normal distributions. So variance of x is equal to variance of x minus mu by sigma. Okay. And the variance of ax is equal to a square into variance of x. So applying these properties of a variance function, and from this we will get variance of x minus mu by sigma, and it is equals to 1 by sigma square into variance of x minus mu. Okay. So variance of, and now applying the properties of a variance function, and from this we will get variance of x minus variance of mu. Okay, and variance of a constant function is 0, but the mean of a constant function is constant. So, and variance of x, and that means the variance of a normal distribution is equals to sigma square, but the variance of a constant term, that means sigma, that means mu, and it will give 0. So after cancelling the term sigma square on numerator as well as the denominator, we will get 1. So therefore the mean of a standard normal distribution will give 0, and the variance of a standard normal distribution will give 1. From the relation Z is equal to x minus mu by sigma, this is the relation between standard normal and the normal distributions, where x has a normal distribution and Z has a standard normal distribution. Understood? So after that we are going to talk about the tabulation of a standard normal distributions. Okay. So let the random variable capital X has standard normal distributions, then its distribution function, this is the distribution function of a standard normal distribution, phi of x is equal to probability of minus infinity less than x less or equal to small x. Okay, and this is equals to minus infinity to x phi z dz. Okay, and you know phi z is the probability density function of a standard normal distribution. It will give 1 by root 2 pi integration over minus infinity to x e to the power minus z square by 2 into dz. Okay, so therefore probability of x is less or equal to a, and this is equals to 1 by root 2 pi integration over minus infinity to a e to the power minus z square by 2 into dz. This is a particular part of the distribution function. As well, from this distribution we will get probability of a less or equal to x less or equal to b, and it is equals to fp minus fa. So in a continuous case it will give 1 by root 2 pi integration over a to b e to the power minus z square by 2 into dz in a standard normal distribution, where the probability density function phi of z is equal to 1 by root 2 pi e to the power minus z square by 2. So this integral cannot be evaluated by using the fundamental theorem of integral calculus. Okay. So however, method of numerical integration can be used to evaluate the integral. So since probability of a less or equal to x less or equal to b is equal to phi b minus phi a, so in a continuous case it will be phi b minus phi a. But in a discrete case it is not equals to phi b minus phi a. So we have, if x has a distribution, that means n of 0 comma 1, this is the standard normal distribution, you know. So then from the tabulated value of phi we can evaluate the probabilities associated with x, and applying this tabulation of normal distribution we will solve some related problem. Okay, let us move on the next slide. So in this slide we will discuss about the binomial approximation to normal distribution. So let the random variable capital X follows binomial distribution with probability mass function. So you know binomial distribution is a discrete distribution. So here probability mass function fx, that means fi, is equal to probability of x is equal to I is equal to NCI p to the power I into 1 minus p whole to the power n minus I, where I is equal to 0, 1, 2 and up to n. So in a binomial distribution n and p are the parameters, and if n tends to infinity and p is not very small, then the distribution of a random variable z is equal to x minus np by root over of np into 1 minus p approach to the standard normal distribution. Okay, so in that case where z has a standard normal distribution and x has a binomial distribution, and this is the relation between binomial distributions and the standard normal distributions. Okay, so z is equal to x minus np by root over of np into 1 minus p. So from the above theorem we understand x is approximately a normal variate with mean np and the standard deviation root over of np into 1 minus p. Okay, this is the mean. So from the binomial distribution we get the mean as well as the standard deviation, and the variable z is equal to x minus np by root over of np into 1 minus p is called the standardized binomial variate. So after that we are going to take some problems on the normal distribution as well as the standard normal distribution. The first problem, it will be, if x is a normal distribution with mean 3 and the standard deviation 2, find c such that, where c is the constant, okay, such that probability of x greater than c is equal to 2 into probability of x less or equal to c, and given that integration over minus infinity to 0.43 phi t dt is equal to 1/3. Okay, so here is the solution of the given problem. So let z be the standard normal variate, and you know z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. This is the relation between normal and standard normal variate. So z is equal to x minus 3 by 2, and the mean of a normal distribution is 3 and the standard deviation is 2. So therefore probability of x greater than 3 and it can be written as, so therefore from this we'll get probability of x minus 3 by 2 is greater than c minus 3 by 2. Okay, and you know x minus 3 by 2 is equal to z. So therefore the probability of this it is reduced to probability of z greater than c minus 3 by 2. And you know probability of z greater than c minus 3 by 2, and from the properties of probability function, and it will give 1 minus probability of z less or equal to c minus 3 by 2. Okay, so now applying the continuous distribution for this probability function, we will get 1 minus integration over minus infinity to c minus 3 by 2. Okay, so z less or equal to a is equal to minus infinity to c a. So from this we will get minus infinity to c minus 3 by 2 into phi t dt, where phi t is the standard normal distribution. Okay, as well probability of x less or equal to c, and you know from this we will get probability of x minus 3 by 2 is less or equal to c minus 3 by 2. Okay, where the 3 and 2 are the constant, you know. So this inequality is not changed if we subtract 3 or divided by 2 on both. Okay, so from this we'll get the probability of z less or equal to c minus 3 by 2, and this is the properties of a probability function for a continuous case, and from this we'll get minus infinity to c minus 3 by 2 phi t dt. Okay, so according to the question, the probability of x is greater than c, and this is equals to 2 into probability of x less or equal to c, and this relation is given. So from this relation we'll get, you know, probability of x greater than c, and I have already found this part also. So this is equals to 1 minus integration over minus infinity to c minus 3 by 2 phi t dt, and from this we'll get and the second part this is, and this is equals to, you know, minus infinity to c minus 3 by 2 pi t dt. So this is equals to 2 into integration over minus infinity to c minus 3 by 2 pi t dt, and from this equation we will get the integral value, that means minus infinity to c minus 3 by 2 into pi t dt, and it is equals to 1/3. Okay, so now comparing this equation with this one, that means in a given problem we will get c minus 3 by 2 is equal to 0.43. Okay, and from this we will get the value of c, and c is equal to 3.86. After simplifying this equation we will get this one. So c is equal to 3.86. Okay, that means the value of c in a normal distributions is 3.86. So after that we will take the second example on the binomial distributions. The length of the bolt produced by a machine is normally distributed with mean 4 and standard deviation 0.5. A bolt is defective if its length does not lie in the interval 3.8 to 4.3. Okay. Find the percentage of defective bolt produced by the machine, and the given value are 1 by root 2 pi integration of minus infinity to 0.6 e to the power minus t square by 2 dt is equal to 0.7257. So this one is given, as well as 1 by root 2 pi integration over minus infinity to 0.4 e to the power minus t square by 2 dt is equal to 0.6554. So from the problem we are going to find the solution. So let's move on the solution of the given problem. So here is the solution. Let x is the length of a bolt. Okay. So by the problem, x has a normal distribution with mean mu is equal to 4 and the standard deviation sigma is equal to 0.5. So first we shall find the probability of that means this one is actually okay, and after that we will find the defective bolt, and which does not lies in that interval. Okay, so in that interval, that means x is a length of the bolt. This is the probability and density function as well. So probability of 3.8 is less than x less than 4.3. So now applying the normal distributions, or the relation between normal distributions of the standard normal distribution, it will get is equal to x minus mu by sigma, where mu is equal to 4 and sigma is equal to 0.5. So this is the standard normal distributions. So now when x is equal to 0.8, and from this relation we will get the value of z. So z is equal to minus 0.4. And when x is equal to 4.3, and from this relation we will get the value of z, and it will be 0.6. So therefore the probability lies in between 0.8 to 4.3, where x is the normal distribution, and it is reduced to probability of minus 0.4 less than z less than 0.6. Okay, and where z is the standard normal distribution. So this is actually the area under the standard normal curve enclosed between two ordinates, z is equal to minus 0.4 and z is equal to 0.6. So this part is actually, so minus 0.4 to 0.6. So this shaded part is the area, okay, under the standard normal curve. So this is equals to integration of our minus 0.4 to 0.6 phi t dt. Okay. So probability of this is equal to minus 0.4 to 0.6 phi t dt. And the standard normal curve is a symmetric curve, and the total area of a standard normal curve is 1, and that is on the right portion. This portion, this value is, that means 0 to infinity, the value of the area is 0.5, and the minus infinity to 0, the value of this region is 0.5 as well. Okay, so therefore the integration of minus 0.4 to 0.6 pi t dt, and it can be written as minus infinity to 0.6, that is minus infinity to 0.6 pi t dt, minus infinity to minus 0.4 pi t dt. Okay, so that means this area. So minus infinity to 0.6 minus infinity to minus 0.4. So from this we will get the required area, that means minus 0.4 to 0.6. Okay, and the value of minus infinity to 0.6 pi t dt is equal to 0.7257. Okay, you know that, and this value is given. But minus infinity to minus 0.4, and it is equals to the phi function is a symmetric function. The standard normal curve is a symmetric curve, and then minus infinity to minus 0.5, and this interval or this region can be written as 0.4 to infinity, where phi is symmetric. Okay, so this integration can be written as 0.4 to infinity phi t dt. Okay, and 0.4 to infinity phi t dt, and this can be written as 1 minus infinity to 0.4 phi t dt. Okay, so 0.4 to infinity, it can be written as also 1 minus, so the total value, that means the total area of a standard normal distribution is 1. So 0.4 to infinity, it can be written as 1 minus infinity to 0.4. Okay, and minus infinity to 0.4 phi t dt is given. The value of this integration is given. So this is equals to 0.7257 minus 1 minus 0.6554, and from this we will get the value of this portion. It is equals to 0.3811. So this is actually the probability that the length of the bolt lies between 3.8 and 4.3, and is equals to 0.3811. But we are going to find the length of the bolt which does not belongs to 3.8 to 4.3. So the probability of the length of the bolt does not lies in between this, that means 0.8 to 4.3, and it is equals to 1 minus 0.3811. that means 0.6189. So therefore the probability that the bolt is defective is 0.6189, and the percentage of the defective bolt produced is 0.6189 into 100, that means 61.89, is it approximately equals to 62. Okay, so this is the required answer of the given problem. So after that we will take one more example on the normal distributions. So if a weekly wage of 10,000 workers in a factory follows normal distributions with mean and standard deviation rupees 70 and rupees 5 respectively. Find the expected number of workers whose weekly wage are between rupees 66 and 72. And the second portion, it will be less than rupees 66, and the third problem, it will be more than rupees 72. So in that problem there are three parts. The first part we are going to find the expected number of workers, okay, whose weekly wage are between rupees 66 to 72. Okay, this is the first part. The second part we will find the workers which weekly wage are less than 66 rupees and more than 72 rupees in the third problem. So given that 1 by root over of 2 pi integration over 0 to z e to the power minus z square by 2 dz, and it is equals to 0.1554 at z is equal to 0.4 and 0.2881 at z is equal to 0.8. So here is the solution of the given problem. So let x is the wage of worker, and x has a normal distribution with mean is equal to mu is equal to 70 and the standard deviation sigma is equal to 5. So from the standard normal distribution, you know z is equal to x minus 70 by 5, where mu is equal to 70 and sigma is equal to 5, and this is a standard normal distribution. Okay, and when x is equal to 66, so from this equation we will get z is equal to minus 0.8, and when x is equal to 72, and from this we will get z is equal to 0.4. So therefore probability of 66 less than x less than 72, and it will give probability of minus 0.8 less than z, it will be z less than 0.4. Okay, so where x is the normal distributions, has a normal distribution, and z has a standard normal distribution. So from this we will get the area under the standard normal curve enclosed between the two ordinate z is equal to minus 0.8 and z is equal to 0.4. So in that region, okay, that means minus 0.8 to 0.4. So the probability value under this portion, and it is equals to minus 0.8 to 0.4 phi dt. Okay, and you know it can be written as minus 0.8 to 0 plus 0 to 0.4. Okay, so integration will be reduced to two parts. First part is minus 0.8 to 0 phi t dt, and the second part is 0 to 0.4 phi t dt. And you know the phi is a curve, and this curve is a symmetric curve about the y-axis, you know. So minus 0.8 to 0, and it can be written as 0 to 0.8, as well as 0 to 0.8 can be written as minus 0.8 to 0. Okay, so therefore the first integration, that means minus 0.8 to 0 phi t dt, and it can be written as 0 to 0.8 phi t dt, where phi is the symmetric curve about the y-axis, and the second part it will be 0 to 0.4 phi t dt. Okay, and the value of the first integration, that means this one, is equals to 0.2881 and is given, and the second integration it will give 0.1554. So value of these two integration are given in the following question, and from this we will get 0.4435. So the probability that the wage of the worker lies between rupees 66 and rupees 72, and it is equals to 0.4435. Okay, so that means the number of workers whose wage lies between rupees 66 and 72 is equals to 0.4435 into 10,000. Okay, so their total number of workers is 10,000. So from this we'll get for 4,435. So this number of workers are lies in rupees 66 and 72. And the second part, it will be less than 66. Okay, so the number of workers whose wage are less than 66. So when we put x is equal to 66, then from this equation the z is equal to minus 0.8. So therefore probability of x less than 66 is equal to probability of z less than 0.8 minus. So this is actually the area under standard normal curve enclosed on the left side of the coordinate, z is equal to minus 0.8. Okay, and from this we'll get minus infinity to minus 0.8 phi t dt. And you know phi function is phi is actually the symmetric curve. So from this we'll get 0.8 to infinity phi t dt. Okay, and you know integration of a 0.8 to infinity phi t dt, and it can be written as 0.5 minus 0 to 0.8 phi t dt. So you know phi is the symmetric curve. So the value lies 0 to infinity, and it will give 0.5, as well as minus infinity 0, it will give 0.5, and the total value is 1. Curve phi is symmetric about the y-axis. So the on the right of the y-axis it will give 0.5, and on the left of y-axis it will give 0.5 as well. So from this we'll get 0.5 minus 0.2881. So this value of this integration is equal to 0.2881, and from this we'll get 0.2119. Therefore the expected number of workers is 0.2119 into 10,000. That means that 10,000 is the total number of workers. So is equal to 2119. That means the worker whose wage are less than 66 is equals to 2119. So that is the number of workers whose wage are less than 66 is 2119. Okay, and after that this one is the third part of the given problem. Here x is equal to 72. So from this equation we get z is equal to 0.4. So in the third part we are going to find the probability of x greater than 72. That is the number of workers whose wage is greater than rupees 72. So from this we'll get probability of x less than, so probability of x greater than 72, and it will give probability of z greater than 0.4. So this is actually the area under standard normal curve enclosed on the right side of the coordinate, z is equal to 0.4. So this is equals to 0.4 to infinity phi t dt. Okay, the definition of the probability function or the continuous function. And you know in a standard normal distribution the curve is a symmetric curve. So from this integration we will get the area, that means 0.5 minus 0 to 0.4 phi t dt. Okay, this is equals to this. And you know 0 to 0.4 phi t dt is given, and it is equals to 0.1554. So from this we will get 0.34486. So that is the number of workers whose wage is greater than 72. So number of workers is equals to 0.3446 into 10,000. That means 3,446. So I will stop here today's lecture. Thank you.